Today, there's so much in our lives that influences us, our environment, the people around us. Sometimes we don't even know what's influencing us, and that's what we're here to talk about. Welcome to the Influence Today podcast with Chet Tart and Terry Lyle.
Welcome to another edition of Influence Today with Chet Tart and Terry Lyles. We're here at Venture X, a beautiful place to go if you're looking for a place to put your business. Modern stuff, modern windows, everything is modern in this place. You'll like it. Awesome, it's Venture X on Palm Beach, in Palm Beach Gardens on PGA Boulevard. On the phone today, we like to surround ourselves with high energy, really impactful people, and people can change the world. And I got to tell you, I got a guy on the phone who started in his garage and went door to door. And now, how many people do you have? 400 people working for you?
Not quite there yet, but we've got 52 full-time people that we've grown through just in the last 3 years.
Well, let me introduce you. This is Shay Berman. Shay, the name of your company is Digital Resource. Tell us a little about the background, how you got started, where you are, and how did you do this? Man, you did this fast. I'm so impressed.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much, and thanks for having me on today. I'm very excited to be here.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm originally from Michigan. I went to Michigan State University, got a degree in advertising, a specialization in internet marketing. I own a landscape construction company, actually.
Really?
I started in high school. I built it through high school and college. But my dream was always to live in South Florida. I believed in Palm Beach County, West Palm Beach, and that's just where I wanted to be. So I gave away my landscape construction company, dropped everything, moved to Florida. I had a couple family members left here, and started Digital Resource on my couch just 5 years ago.
5 years ago, really?
Wow.
Yeah, and you know what? It was that or start another landscape construction company. And my dad said, you went to school for marketing, you're great at it. You know how to do customer service. That's part of what you've been doing. And, sales is a big piece of this, which you can sell too. Why don't you try a digital marketing company? And I named it Digital Resource. I started up on the couch. And, the first 2 years were a real grind, just me by myself, trying to bring on clients, trying to make it work, 20 hours a day, 6 days a week. And about 3 years ago, we hired our first team member. And like I just mentioned, we're up to 52 today in a 9,000 square foot office downtown West Palm Beach.
Wow. What gave you that sustainable energy or that drive that says, I'm going to make it? I'm going to make it. What was it?
For me, my motto is there's always a way. Literally, there is always a way to accomplish anything. When someone says it can't be done, when someone says it's impossible, when someone says no, I always find a way to make it happen. Whether it's changing about how you think about something to make the outcome you need different, or getting to the outcome you want through different means, there's always a way. So there was never any other possibility to be successful, to grow fast, to sustain this energy than just to do it.
Well, the name of the show is Influence Today, so somebody must have influenced you, and somebody must have said, hey, you got your dream, you're going to Florida, you're building this company, and look at you now. Who was your mentor? Who helped you sustain that that influence?
There's a few. Growing up, my mom always told me I could do anything, and it wasn't in that millennial coddling mindset. It was literally like, you can do anything, now go do it. And I did. When I got older, I looked to my dad a lot. We were really great friends when I was older and still are today. And he was always there just to listen and be a sounding board, whether or not his advice was there or great or bad advice. He was always a sounding board and supported me. And one of the first people I met when I started my company was actually a coach who coached other business owners, and now today actually runs a dental practice, a 5-location dental practice. And we're really big in the dental industry. So through my early career here at Digital Resource, I leaned on him a lot, and he kind of provided free support and guidance because he kind of believed in my vision.
Can you give an example of what he said to you that got you in the right direction, on the right track? I like that because I love collecting that stuff.
I could tell you how we met in about a minute and a half at longest if you'd like. It's a fun story.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I just started the company, and someone that was working alongside me and something else I was doing just before I started the company, that was there a short time, introduced me to Sasha. And he put me on the phone, and this guy on the other line said, Shay, meet me at Cracker Barrel next Tuesday at 7:30 in the morning. in Boynton Beach. I'll see you there," and hung up the phone. And I call my dad up. I'm like, "Dad, this random guy wants to meet me at Cracker Barrel at 7:30 in the morning on Tuesday." He goes, "Well, it's not 1 in the morning on a Friday in a back alley. What do you have to lose?"
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm like, "Got a point. I'll go to Cracker Barrel." So I show up at Cracker Barrel, and I meet this guy Sasha, and he says, "Hey, Shay, great to meet you. You got a business card?" I said no, and then he said, "You have a website?" And I said, "No, I just started the company. I don't have any of these things." Well, he gets up from the table, and he goes, "Next Tuesday, 7:30, back at Cracker Barrel. Be here, and don't show up if you don't have a business card or a website. My coffee's on you. See you later," and left the table. That was the whole conversation.
Wow.
That's cool.
That's a great coach
That's
already.
a kick in the butt.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
yeah. So I call my dad. I'm like, "Dad, this crazy person's telling me to come back to Cracker Barrel after making me pay for his $3 coffee."
Right.
And he goes, "I guess you're getting a business card and a website. And you're going back to Cracker Barrel next week." So I did. And Sasha ended up getting me one of my first 5 or so clients. He got me my first dentist that we ever got. And really kind of kept coaching me from there. I just kept following what he said blindly. Didn't even know why he was helping me. And it really just turned out to be a great mentor.
That's awesome.
Wow.
And that's what influence is about, Shay. Great to have you on. And you just never know who's going to impact your life. And I think the thing I heard you say in your story is, you've got to be open to people. You never know who's going to be that miracle person that walks into your life, and it's probably not who you think it is. And just being able to be sharp enough to listen and take advice and counsel from someone. We all do coaching, and it's very powerful to be able to be in that position to say, "I need some help and resources. Can you help me?"
I
Yeah,
think.
and and not knowing who to trust and all that,
I
and
know.
just trusting someone who you trust will have your best interest at heart. It really can go a long way.
Sure.
One of the things you brought up was the fact that we talk about everyone needs a coach. And from what I hear here, that you agree with that, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you can find a coach that you trust, it's so great to be able to have someone to be that sounding board, to be able to bounce ideas off of, to be able to tell you, "Don't do this, don't do that," because they've been there before.
Yes.
Not just because of what they feel. Going back based off history and facts is a really cool thing to be able to do, and not everyone has that opportunity without a coach.
So how have you changed running the company from 5 people to 10 people to 50 people? What have you changed in your leadership?
I have to change about how I think about processes and procedures. I always have to be thinking, can 100 people do this same process? Because I know one can, but can 2, 5, 20, 100, 1,000 people do this? Is it scalable on an unlimited aspect? And that's something I did learn early on, and I was able to instill, which is great, which is part of why we've grown so fast. But also about the culture and how culture keeps affecting the company at different people levels. There's different people involved, different hierarchies, different corporatization that comes in that you have to keep thinking about. And if you don't know how to scale your people and their feelings and their goals, you can't scale the company.
Yes. Tell us a bit about what you do.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm intrigued. Just, digital resources could be a lot. So just give me your quick and dirty on. I know some people that I think might need your services, so I'm asking kind of selfishly. So this is your turn, man. Just tell me something. What do you do?
Yeah, so we are a digital marketing company.
Okay.
And a lot of people ask, what is a digital marketing company?
Yeah.
Well, our clients typically come to us when they're concerned that they don't have a website that accurately reflects their business.
Mm-hmm.
They're frustrated that they don't have enough leads to generate the number of sales they need to grow or sustain their business. And some of them are just really annoyed that their competition is killing it by using online marketing and Facebook ads and Google ads, and they can't compete because they haven't been successful or haven't even tried it in a lot of cases.
Mm-hmm.
So we do things like Google ads, Facebook ads, SEO, social media, manage live chat, video, photo production, social media, on and on, but anything related to growing businesses using online means.
Okay. That's good. Yeah. And it's such a, Chet and I grew up in an environment. I mean, you sound a lot younger than us, but, we grew up in a
he's won
different
many
world.
awards, 40 under 40s, right? 20 under 20s, 10 under. You won them all.
And we
We're
grew up.
trying.
We grew up in another world where all you did was network. You had to go out in the physical space of the world and knock on doors or make phone calls, and we just live in, and digital resourcing, as you're saying, it is a different marketplace.
Yeah, it really is. All that same networking that you still can do in person
Sure.
can actually be so much more exponential online now. People think it's funny that people live their lives on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and from a social standpoint and human interaction, it is a funny world. But from a business world, you can take advantage of that world we live in and make everything you do an exponential touch. By posting on Facebook, instead of 5 people hearing about what you did today, 5,000 can hear about what you did today. So it's so much further the reach, but everyone else has that same reach, so you have to compete.
Why don't you tell people how they can find you from our podcast if they were to look you up? Where would they go? What is the address?
Yeah. So our website is yourdigitalresource.com. We have a beautiful website that tells all about our team. But our social media is super interactive. On Facebook and on Twitter and Instagram, we're Digital Resource, and we really tell a great story about our team, our people, and our culture. We provide a lot of great information about digital marketing, but we like to tell people about who we are, because that's really what makes our company different.
Sure. I was just thinking, you better have a crazy looking website, man, because if this is what you do, I'm impressed already. So that's what it comes down to. And it's awesome. It just not to have a static site, but to have some place where people can go and find out what they need to want to know about your business.
Oh yeah. Our website, we're actually revamping it. It looks really nice right now. We're coming out with a new one at the new year, but our social media is something we're extremely proud of. I can honestly say there's not any marketing company I have found yet that does as much for their people and displaying their people online as we do. And it's really my team that I have to thank for that.
Well, Shay, 2 of the most important questions I get all the time that you have to deal with also is, how do I find good people? What are some of the techniques you use to make sure they fit in your culture? And how do you sustain that culture? What are you looking for? Because that's the question people really ask.
So I find my people a few different ways. Number one is Indeed. That's kind of always the first stop. It's the cheapest, and we'll get the most resumes, but you have to search through a ton. The second one is word of mouth. We're really big in the community. I speak at a lot of events. I actually just got off stage a couple hours ago. We have a lot of people we have their resumes, and they're kind of lined up for the next position. So just having a great PR, a great presence, people can be lined up at your door if you have a cool company to work for. And the third one, we actually use a staffing company, one of my good friends, owns a company called Sloan Staffing, and he hires about 40-50% of my people, gets me resumes within 24 hours. So when I have to go the paid route, and because I need someone now, my recruiter has been really, really great to us.
Is there any kind of questions that you ask when you hire people so they stay within your culture?
Yeah, I really like to see, a lot of people have the same questions they ask every interviewee. Mm-hmm. I do not have a list of questions.
Correct.
I don't even have one question that I ask everyone. I like to look them in the eyes and just have a conversation. And let's see where that conversation goes. See what their body language is like. See if they look me in the eyes. See if they're confident about what they're saying. Because the body language and the words that they're using and the way they say things, their tone, all of that combined can tell you a lot about a person. And I have a ton of experience interviewing and hiring people, so obviously I've gotten better and better at it. But even from the beginning, I've just been able to identify great people from having real conversation and not making it so strict and business-like.
So you must have a different thought process right now. This is your company. You started it, and now you're going around speaking. You're not there all the time. So trust is a big deal. And you must have some people there working right now that you absolutely trust to keep this thing, the flywheel turning.
Yeah, I have to trust every single team member. If I don't trust someone, they're not a fit for our team. The trust has to totally be there. But we've departmentalized our company into 11 different departments, and each department has a manager, and that manager is a highly trusted person that I trust with every aspect of their own team. So when it comes to keeping all those teams together, that's still a lot on me, still playing that COO, CEO position.
Yes.
But I do put a lot of trust in my team managers, and for the most part, everything except for financial decisions can be made by those team members and those teams. But a ton of trust has to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just let me break for just a second, because I was just chatting with Julie in your facility, and I said, we're interviewing the boss. And she says, awesome. Tell him I said hello. So Julie said hello.
Tell her hello back.
I sure will. This is the world we live in, right? I'm chatting with her while we're talking. I'm on your site. You got a great site, too, by the way.
Thank you.
So Shay, what is the future for your company here? How many people do you have now? You say 50 or so?
Yeah, we have about 52 right now. We just hired a few more that started this Monday. Our office is built to hold 101.
Right.
The cool thing is, we've actually gotten more and more efficient. We were hiring about 1 to 1.5 people every month for the last 2 years. But we are down to hiring about 1 every other month right now. We do anticipate that speeding back up again, and it hasn't slowed down because of the growth of our company. We've actually just gotten so much more efficient. The hiring slowed a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I anticipate over the next 5 to 6 years growing out of our office. I would love to be at 100 people in the next 5 years, 250 people in the next 7 to 8 years. Our growth is actually only getting faster every single month, so it's crazy to just even think about that.
You've moved a couple of times already, haven't you, with growth?
Yeah, this is our third office, fourth if you count my couch.
There you go. Yeah.
Let me ask you this question. What is it that makes you different? Why would I go to your digital company compared to somebody else's?
The biggest thing is that our clients say that we're different because we care.
Mm-hmm.
We are all young people. The average age is 27 years old of our team members. They know that they were given a big opportunity to get into a typically old school industry of advertising and to be able to grow with a growing company. So everyone really, really cares because everyone wants to move up this ladder that just keeps getting bigger and more people can keep jumping on this ladder. So they all care. They all want to succeed. They want the clients to succeed. And you should really, if you were there, you would feel the atmosphere of if something goes wrong in the client's campaign, my team isn't like, oh, well, on to the next. They are visibly shaken by it. Like they actually want the things to work 1,000% of the time. So that's number one. Number two is that we really look at marketing from a holistic approach. We don't believe that any one thing is a good fit for everyone. We look at our clients' businesses and we learn more about their goals and where they're at and what they've done before suggesting anything, because a lot of marketing agencies want to say, hey, this is the right thing for you, but a client might not be right for us or a service might not be right for them depending on the goals that they have or where they're at right now in their history.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my wife has a new company that we've launched, and I was kind of asking some of those questions selfishly, so we will probably reach out to you and get some ideas and some forecasting on especially the digital space, because it's still just a tricky space. And a lot of people can play in the digital market, but like you have said in a very articulate way, if you don't know how to navigate those waters digitally, it can be very challenging.
For sure. And I'd love to talk with obviously you and your wife, and our company is all about relationships. So we always want to talk to new business owners, give advice where we can. If we're a great fit, great. If not, we hope we can provide some value in any way.
Yeah.
So I think it's important when people do look at you and hire you, they want to know the relationship, the trust value, and also internally when you walk into the building, people seem to be having a good time. I've noticed that the offices look totally different than I've seen in most digital companies. You seem to have a good. If I was to join the company, of course I can't because you got to be under 40. But if I was to join,
at least
if I was to join the company, what can I expect coming in? What are some of the benefits from being there? What have you noticed? The friendships, the relationships, the extra things that you offer. Do you do Fridays? Do you take them away places? Do you do education? What is it that you get by joining Digital Resources?
On top of like the standard any company benefits, like healthcare and 401k, and we do some cool things like paid breakfast. We bring breakfast in for the whole office, or lunches. We do team outings. We do quarterly events where we'll bring the whole community into the office, and the team has fun with them, and free drinks and food. We have paid parking downtown, and the best part about just the day to day though is that it's a very non-micromanaged atmosphere. Everyone's friends. I think the whole family thing is corny, but they really are families for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a really cool place for everyone to get together because there's no judgment, no cliques. You get to wake up every morning, and even if you hate work in general, if there's any one place our team members want to go to work, they want to go to work at Digital Resource.
Well, I just thought about this as we're on your website looking at it as we're talking, and we do this on video as well, so we'll ship you a link that you can see us here watching your video, and you can't see us now. However, I would offer to you to do a training for your team. I do what's called Performance Under Pressure. I have a new book that just came out a month ago. And maybe we can do some swap trade stuff, and I can impact 55 people in your area there on how to perform under pressure every single day and not burn out.
Yeah, I'd love to talk about that. That sounds really cool.
Yeah, cool. It's what we do. It's all grind, right?
Right.
It's how we used to do it. It's horse trading.
You know what? It's all pressure all day long, and
Yep.
the one interesting thing about marketing is that it's never good enough. You can always
Yes.
get one more lead, design it just a little bit better. There's not a lot of satisfaction in the marketing world for marketing people, so you have to perform under pressure all the time.
Yep.
Before you leave, Shay, I know you're speaking somewhere. What are you speaking about? What topics are people asking you to talk about?
So today I spoke for the Business Development Board of Palm Beach County, and I actually was just telling my story of our growth from moving from Michigan to growing to where we are today, from a room of people.
I
but
missed
typically
that
when
lunch. I had a choice between that and Enterprise Day, so I didn't know you were speaking at that one. Yeah,
Oh, that's too funny. It was a great turnout.
yeah, it was. Wow. And then you were talking about your growth, and that must also produce a lot of word of mouth, and people do talk to you at the end, right?
Yeah, we got a lot of people coming up at the end, wanting to learn more about how we got there and kind of learn all the different intricacies. Some people are interested in how we hired, some people are interested in how we
Right.
marketed. So
Sure.
it's cool to have those conversations because it was different every year along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this has been enlightening. Is there one thing that we haven't asked you that you would like to tell us about you or your company?
I don't know. You guys did a really great job. I think if I just had to say one more thing about myself or our company, it's that we are dedicated to the growth of young people, to the growth of our learning internally, and to making sure that we're always bringing the best pieces of marketing to the table. So continuing education is big for us, and the happiness of our people, unlike a lot of marketing agencies, is always going to be number one.
That's awesome.
That's great. This
It's
is
great to meet you.
This
over
has
the
been
air.
a great interview. I enjoy the energy, and there's so many different people that I like to introduce you to who have the same energy and has been successful, and all young, all 30s and 40-year-old people that, I'm just blown away by them. And I'm
Yep.
just blown away by your success when I hear the stories, and it just excites me. I mean, there's something about that. You just,
It's
it's
the American dream.
Right.
It's cool.
Well, thank you guys, and thank you so much for having me on the podcast. I love talking, not about myself usually, but I love talking in front of people, telling people about marketing and our team because they're amazing. So I appreciate the opportunity to be on your podcast here.
Sure, absolutely.
well, thank you, Shay. Appreciate it, and thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you guys. Have a great one.
All
Thank
right.
you.
You've been listening
Bye.
to Influence Today with Chet Tart, Terry Lyles. If you like the show, please hit like, and share it with a lot of your friends. We'll catch you next week on Influence Today from VentureX.